Hey everybody, welcome back to 2BeLikeChrist. Are you discouraged in your Bible reading already this year? Then watch this video. I've been a pretty regular gym goer for most of my 20s. And one thing I've realized is that when I take a lot of time off the gym, let's say I take a few weeks off or maybe even a month, that it's really difficult to go back. My muscles are kind of out of sync with lifting, and it's uncomfortable, and my arms start to shake when I go back, and I feel weak, and sometimes I feel sick, and that first workout, or maybe that first two workouts, are hard, and I'm sore again, and I just don't feel like going back to the gym. Maybe that's you. Maybe you've made a New Year's resolution that you're gonna go work out, and you've experienced that. So you've gone for the first day, the second day, and you feel dreadful, and you're like, if this is what working out is like, I'm done. I'm going to go back to my couch and eat nachos. But that's the experience that you have, and you get discouraged in that because it's so hard. What's even worse is that you're sore the next day, and so you can't go back, and then one day turns into 2 and 3 and 4, and eventually you're not going. And what's even worse than that is that there's people that are in the gym who look like, they're in great shape, you know, they're like the triathlete. They don't have an ounce of fat on them, and they know how to use every piece of equipment in the gym. But you, or me, you know, we walk in there and we're like, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And so we're using the leg press machine as the bicep machine. And then we walk out and we're embarrassed. We know everyone's looking at us and it's terrible. And we're like, I'm never going back to the gym ever. See you later. As I was thinking about that this morning, and my wife was talking to me about making a video on Bible reading, I saw a connection between those two. Maybe you've made a New Year's resolution to pick up your Bible more and to have a more structured study pattern, reading pattern. And maybe you're somebody who hasn't picked up the Bible for a long time, or maybe this is your first time picking up the Bible. I think it's really important to know that the hardest days ahead of you are going to be the first days. Is going to be the initial part of picking that up and reading it for the very first time. And the reason for that is because you're going to come across characters who you're not familiar with, plot lines that you're not familiar with. You're going to be scratching your head and asking, what does this have to do with anything? I thought this book was about Jesus, and we're over here talking about the Philistines, and I don't even know who they are. And especially if you've got a King James version, then you're just like, forget it. And then you look at other people, other Bible teachers or students who you know that you look up to, and you see them pull applications out of texts and draw parallels between texts, and you're like, how on earth did you see that? That makes no sense to me. I never would have connected those two things, and so you get discouraged. And just like in the gym, they always tell you, don't compare your day 1 to somebody's day 365, or maybe somebody's been going to the gym for 5 years, right? You can't compare yourself. There's a growth process there that needs to happen. And so it's the same with Bible study. Don't get discouraged by somebody who's more mature in the faith, who's been studying for years and years and years, while you're just starting out for the first time. And here's the truth, and here's why you shouldn't quit. It's because just like the gym, once you go 3, 4, 5 times, it starts to get easier. Your muscles start to get acclimated to the exercises. You're more familiar with the machines. You know which body parts you need to work and which ones you don't. You know what exercises hurt the most and what you want to avoid. Well, it's the same with Bible study. The more we do it, the longer we do it, the more the puzzle pieces start to fall into place, and we become more mature and more like Jesus, like Christ, and also more like those mature teachers who are able to look at the text and to pull out those applications. It gets better. You just have to persevere through the difficulty of trying to figure it all out for the first time. And there's a lot of resources out there that can help you do that. So the application is, don't get discouraged in the early days. So many things in life are like this. And if we can see them, if we can persevere past them, then we can grow to become more like Christ. But if we quit now, we're just going to end up a year later, a year from now, next New Year's, realizing that we could have put in a year's worth of study, we could have known the Bible better, we could have applied it better, and yet we didn't because we quit in the early days. But it will get better, I promise you it will, and the Bible will become clearer and clearer as you continue reading. And remember that as you're doing that, pray for assistance to understand and to be able to apply correctly. Hey everybody, and thanks for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed, do that down below. Hit that little bell notification. That tells you or notifies you when a new video comes out. Also, share the video. If you haven't checked out our website yet, 2BeLikeChrist.com, there's some exciting things already being done there and that will continue to roll out as the next couple weeks come out. Hoping to put out a book pretty soon. on the topic of an introduction to the Bible, so pretty relevant to this topic. So watch out for that, and subscribe to the content on the website as well. That way you get notified in your email every time a new piece of content comes out. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.